Good morning, everybody, and welcome to TED Talks. I am Ted Davies. I'm an author and creator, and you're on my show, so let's enjoy it. A little bit cold on the lake today, and it's cloudy, kind of an autumn day, so we're just going to kind of take it easy here, and we're going to talk to you about Ken Leinaar. He is an awesome creator, actually in Michigan here, about an hour away. He's been a really great guy, and I really enjoy his work. Enjoy what he's doing on Kickstarter right now, and I want to show you guys a little bit about what he's doing. So we'll talk to him in a minute. But first, let's talk about what's in the coffee cup here. We've got Columbus Beach today with Indian River Roasting Company. Let's check out what they do. Be right back. Here at Ted Davies Artistry, we take coffee seriously. And so does our sponsor, Indian River Roasting Company. It's fair trade, organic, and they're artisans just like me. The only difference is I use watercolor and ink and they use coffee beans. And I enjoy it all through my day. So do yourself a favor, go to the description when you like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Find Indian River Roasting Company's website, use the promo code CaffeinateTED2021, and save 10% on your purchase. Yeah, so use that promo code CaffeinateTED2021, save 10% on your coffee. IndianRiverRoastingCompany.com. It will be found in the description, or you can type that into Google, and I'm sure it'll come up. So check out everything that they're doing and get caffeinated. We also have a sponsor, John Cashman at Cashman's Comics. Let's see what he does.
And every day I wake up feeling the same way now. Need to find something to believe. Every night the dreams we make, they're haunting my head now.
Yeah, check out everything that John's doing down in Bay City at Cashman's Comics, or you can go to cashmancomics.com. Of course, you won't see Petey unless you go to the store. Petey is the guard dog there, and he is awesome. Check out everything that they're doing. Whether you're a novice collector or whether you're a seasoned collector like myself, check out what John's doing because he can ship nationwide, and he is very accommodating. We're also proud affiliates with Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Check out everything that we're doing 7 days a week. We're a group of creatives that help creatives build their business. And let's see. Tonight, we've got the Dastardly Dingoes. If I'm not mistaken, it's 7 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. I've got to get another card up here. I'm sorry about that. I haven't updated that yet. But check out everything we're doing. Join us on Rising Tide Broadcast Network on the Facebook page as well as the YouTube channel. And or all the YouTube channels that are on here, actually. But I think that they're on tonight. Then tomorrow at 7 p.m., we've got the Truth Mongers, which Glenn B. Fleming and myself host. And we are talking about the Foo Fighters, not the band, but the flying saucer-ish things that followed a lot of the World War II planes back in the 40s. And a really interesting discussion on what exactly is a Foo Fighter and how they got their name and what exactly maybe what they were. So you guys bring what you think might be the answer to the conversation tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on this channel. And then also, let's see, Thursday, Carl and I are back. It's been a month already. God, it's already this next month. We're doing a spooky cigar show in honor of Halloween, and we'll talk to you a little bit about some of the very interesting names for different cigars that are for this time of year, as well as throughout the year, and how the dark side of cigar creation happens. Muhaha. So you guys can check that out with us tomorrow, Thursday at 11 a.m. So check out everything that we're doing on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you. Okay, so with no further ado, let me bring in, let me say good morning to everybody too, by the way. Ken, let me bring you in here too. Welcome.
I'm sorry, I was just reading something.
Yeah, product placement. That's nice, man. Thanks. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you supporting my endeavors there. So let me say good morning to everybody here. We got Carl and Donna and Skunk. Good morning, Paul from Pop Culture Adventure. How you doing? We got everybody from all over the country right now. That's great. That's good. Got about 7 people watching, 8 people. If you guys could like and share and subscribe to this channel, if you haven't already, that would be awesome. I would appreciate it greatly. And we're going to talk about you, Ken. So how you been, man?
Happy to be alive, man. Better than I deserve.
Good. If you guys haven't seen the first episode that we did with Ken, actually did 2 shows already with Ken, because I think he's such a prolific creator as far as what's happening in Michigan and what you what you offer the indie indie creators, because you're doing it. You've been doing it for longer than I have. So I mean, there's a lot of things that people need to know about you and what you offer. But it shows also what you can do as a creator. You don't sit around, and that's one thing that I respect a lot. Um, in any case, tell everybody when you landed on this planet, just like we do every time. Tell them a little bit about
Right.
yourself.
I'm about 40 something, 47 years around the sun. Um, Born and raised in beautiful Bay City, Michigan, where all things are by the bay.
Everything's by the bay, right? Right. Are you going to stay in Bay City, you think, all your life?
See, as long as I have this mortgage, it's going to be at least another.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know. I moved away for a bit.
Yeah,
Um, I hit 18 and decided like, oh man, I'm grown. I'm gonna move out. Me and a buddy got a place. Promptly ran out of money 6 months later and ended up moving back home with my mom. But
yeah,
I love it here. It's kind of a little microcosm. It's not like a big city, but it's not a small town, and we
right.
have a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
We're right by
that's
the water, and
one thing I
my
love
family
about
is
Bay.
here.
Yep, I love Bay City for that reason. I like it's only an hour away, and it's like it's kind of like a
We have
mini Detroit
yeah.
or something, to where you can just go. You can have good food. It's by the water. I mean, it's really really cool. I
I
really
mean,
like
we've
it a
got
lot.
we've got mad culture, but we
Yeah,
have
you do.
these little artisan shops and
Hmm.
stores and restaurants and just places, just like I said, like it's like a big city, but it's also homey,
Yeah,
you know.
yep.
Um,
And
and like I said, my whole family lives here, so
It's got Cashman's comics. So that's a reason
yeah,
to
I
stay
can't be
enough.
far from John Cashman. So
No, John's great. So
just went
and
and cleaned
that's
out my inbox yesterday.
yeah, yeah. Did you your pool box? Yeah.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
One of the things about Ken too that he does is that every year, well, not last year because we were in COVID central here, but um, what you do though is we actually met at Free Comic Book Day a couple years ago, and you set up a shop pretty much for free drawings. You take tips or whatever, but free drawings for people that are waiting in line to go into Cashman's Comics, and that's I wouldn't do that. I'm sorry, but you do it all the time. You do it every year. You've got the tent outside and you or the
Hmm.
canopy, and I took a lot of pictures this year with you there and some video, and it's fun to watch your interactions because the people just they gravitate to you. So, and I really do appreciate that because it's not an easy thing to do. I don't think I could handle the added stress of it, and then just giving it away for free. That you're better than I am, I guess. Gungadin. One of the
Oh
things I
man,
do
it's
want to talk about though is this. Well, I'm glad that I got this copy of it. Angel's Blood is the Kickstarter that you just had right about 2 months
mhm.
ago, 3 months ago, and this is a homage to the Hulk. If anybody remembers this, what Hulk was this one again? I forgot
Hulk
the
number one.
number. Oh, it was
That
number
was
one.
Jack
Okay, I thought.
Kirby's Hulk number one. That
Yep.
was my homage to that cover.
Yeah, it's awesome. But anyway, I'm glad I got this one because this is great. This is a very successful campaign that you ran, did very well,
Thank
and
you.
overfunded, right? It overfunded
Yeah,
on
we
that.
were over double funded.
So I mean that's great. I'm glad to hear that, and I know that there's a lot of people that don't get that sometimes, and it's good to see indie comics
Hmm.
do. But right now you've got another project that you've got on Kickstarter. So tell everybody about that a little bit. We're going to go around a little bit on Kickstarter and things that are happening with it, and tell them about that. I'm going to bring it up here too.
All right,
Okay.
man. Well, because I don't like to rest on my laurels, just building on that. I mean, first of all, I'm kind of enjoying the Kickstarter process now that
Yeah.
I'm learning more about it. I ran one in 2017, and
Hmm.
then had kind of a gap where I didn't produce a lot. I did some freelancing, but I hadn't published any of my own books in a while, with the exception of one I talk about another time. So we ran this Kickstarter, and I kind of got the taste for it. I mean, and it's weirdly like a performance. I mean, it's running it has an aspect of self promotion that I'm not used to, but
Okay.
I'm enjoying like getting used to it and learning at least about putting myself out there and doing interviews and stuff like with
Sure.
you,
Sure.
and just doing stuff behind the scenes besides just sitting at a table making books.
Mhm.
So after that one ended, I heard about a program that Kickstarter has called Quick Starter, which is it's like a Kickstarter, and it's exactly like a Kickstarter. It's just with some structure and some limitations,
Okay.
rules like you can only run it for 20 days.
Mhm.
It has to be something that's completed within 90 days from inception to delivery or to
Okay.
finished. It's like all
That's
these
good.
weird things. It's kind of
Yeah.
like it's like a challenge, right?
Mhm.
So I had been sort of kicking around the idea of doing a sketchbook project
Mhm.
for a while anyway, because I have like years and years worth of unpublished uh, artwork from like pinups to short stories and several. Like I have my first book, Spring River, was
Mhm.
originally planned as a graphic novel, so I have 117 pages of finished artwork for it. We only
Okay.
published like 25 and 24 pages of the book because we did instead of doing a graphic novel, we just did one issue and then never got to do the rest.
Okay.
So I have all this like boxes of unpublished work, and I was thinking like, what could I do with it? Could I rehash it, kind of slap a fresh coat of paint on it,
Mhm.
tie it together with some intros and some explanations, and
Sure.
make a little biographical storybook out of it?
Okay. Kinda like
Because
like your own omnibus in a way,
yeah,
your
like with it, and it was
portfolio.
and actually the first book I ever published, self-published, was called Refrigerator Door, and it basically
Cool.
took this idea where I had like the kids book, and
Yeah.
kids donated for me 3 pages each of like their own kids art, and then
Mhm.
I tied that together with my own narrative. I had a character introduce each section and explain it, and I thought, well, do something like that. It'll be something I can complete quickly because most of the artwork is just all done because it's old rehashed stuff. Um, and again, I wanted to see about this quick starter thing and figure out if that's a viable way to throw some projects together between bigger projects
Okay.
because I have bigger things planned. In fact, at the end of my last Kickstarter, I did a survey and I asked all my backers, "What would you like to see next?" Because I have
Mhm.
3 ideas, and one of them is a quick start, is a sketchbook, one of them is a big comic book, and one of them is a children's book I have coming up. But and actually I got most votes for the to do a comic book, but that's
Right.
not ready yet. So
Yeah.
and it's definitely going to take more than 90 days.
Sure.
Anyway, back to the Hatched project. I also thought, as much as I don't like self promotion, and it occurred to me like because part of me like wants to put myself out there, and the other part of me like wants to hide and
Yeah.
bury my nose in my table. Um, but I added this aspect of like, what if I took the commissions that I do, the freelancing that I do, and I added that aspect to it where backers can have their idea drawn by me and published in the book. So it's a sketchbook project, but with some new material and the options for backers to get their own things published in the book
Alright, cool.
by me.
By your hand. Alright, cool. Alright, so, um, that's pretty good. I mean, I can dig that, and that's why I backed it. I mean, that's one of the things I love your art anyway, but I think that I think that um, the grassroots side of it is important. I mean, the interactive side, but the grassroots side. And one of the things about it too, you're not doing this for, glamour and glitz and like big money. This is to pay for the printing and get it out there to people. This is,
Yeah, that's a very small term, and it's another rule of the quick starter. The goal has to be under $1,000. Like this is
okay.
one of the limits. It's just supposed to be. The idea of it is to start to support small ideas and little projects, just to keep the
Okay.
grassroots idea of quick Kickstarter going.
Yeah. So that's okay. So you're actually doing us a favor. If everybody listening to this is looking at Kickstarter, the Quick Starter, I'm learning about it because I didn't know about it. That's great. So it's kind of just it's Kickstarter light, basically, is what it is.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
Diet Kickstarter. So,
and the idea too is to take a little bit of the pressure off. You're not even allowed to do all the promotion that you normally would do, or and
yeah,
the preparation even.
yeah.
You have to do this thing in under 90 days. It's
It's
You
crunch time.
literally have to limit yourself
Yeah,
from going all in like I
yeah,
did with the last Kickstarter. I mean, I lived and breathed it for four
you
months
did.
before I
I know.
launched it.
I know you did. And there was good morning, Glenn, by the way, or good afternoon. We're international now. Glenn B. Fleming's in the house. So what's been the what okay, if we can, brass tacks, what's the problem? What don't you like about the if you had to do a quick survey of it and tell people what to look for, what not to do, what's the drawbacks to it besides the funding?
Okay.
What if it overfunds $1,000 then? Do they
Oh no,
that's a
that's not.
bonus
You can fund as much as you want. It doesn't limit you how much you can earn
or what you
for
can?
your
Yeah.
Kickstarter. It just limits your goal. Like
Okay.
you can't use a Kickstarter campaign to launch something for 10 grand. I mean, that's a bigger scale. They're trying
Yeah.
to promote it, and I learned about this through the comics launch course
Mhm.
um, with Tyler James.
Mhm.
Um, there's a whole section in the course on that. So like that sounds really interesting, and it sounds like something again that I could use in between to keep the momentum going because I feel like momentum is very real. And
Oh, yeah. I
if
agree
I
with
had to
that
wait another
totally.
8 months before I launched something, you know, I might
Yeah.
it might lose steam.
Yeah.
So keeping people interested, keeping myself motivated,
Yeah.
without going all in and overboard. So then the drawbacks are I kind of partly the limitations that are also its bonuses. Because
Okay.
part of me like I want to promote more, I want to do more.
Okay.
They don't allow any media outreach. You can like so you if you contacted me, I'm allowed to do an interview. You're not
Okay.
allowed to contact the local news and
I
ask to do
see.
interviews. You know,
Wow.
it's weird little rules. You're not allowed to do stretch goals, and that's something that I liked a lot for my Kickstarter. Like
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
advertise stretch
shame.
goals. If I meet this, then you get to do that. You launch it as is, and you're not allowed to do any more.
Wow.
Like I said,
Okay.
if you can fund all you want. I mean, if you go 2, 3, 4 grand, that's great. That's not against the rules.
Okay.
And the third thing is that um, one of the reasons I wanted to try it is because they give you a tag. You get the quick starter tag on your project, and I wanted to see how much that
Experiment.
helped
Yeah,
if they
experiment.
promote
Okay.
your page for you because basically Kickstarter doesn't promote you. I mean, people can go to Kickstarter and
Mhm.
search comics and stuff, but I mean,
Mhm.
Kickstarter doesn't do much promotion. You got to bring your audience to your project,
Yeah.
and so I wanted to see how effective their promotion for the Quick Starter was.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't feel like it's much except that you get a little tag on your project, which and I don't think most people know what Quick Starter even is.
Right.
I
I
know I
didn't.
didn't.
Like I said, I didn't.
So
I'm pretty savvy when it comes to stuff. So I
so I
mean,
think
now I
that
am, but
aspect of it didn't benefit me
yeah.
much or hasn't benefited me much yet.
Yeah.
But like I
Um,
said, it's kind of an experiment, and it's fun. It's limiting.
yeah.
It's frustrating because it's limiting though, because I find that I thought I would be a load off my shoulders, and instead I want to do more. I want to start adding stretch goals. And I want to put out emails promoting stretch goals,
Right.
but I'm not allowed to.
But at least you're trying it. I mean, that's the thing. Your
Yeah,
foot's in the pool. You know what I mean? You're
yeah. And
trying.
this is very
Carl.
much. I mean, I'm not discounting this project, but I mean, it's very much
No.
a project for fun.
Yeah, and
This
that's the
isn't
one
like
that
a story I have to
that's what
tell.
you do want to experiment that way because you don't want to do it with a major, when you're trying to
Hmm.
do something like Angel's Blood, like you did, like
Hmm.
this, and then or something I'm doing with Grimm, 101 Book 2, which is launching October 24th. Always be
Yeah,
promoting.
for
So
sure.
yeah. So, and Carl's got a good point. He says those are strict rules, but again, it's just for a certain type of project. You're not going to be doing this for,
Yeah.
you know, when you're really trying to promote and build. I mean, I don't know, it's kind of a drawback because I like having the tiers for people, the different reward tiers, because as it
Hmm.
goes, you evolve. Your Kickstarters evolve as the demand is there, or what
Hmm.
I see a lot of people that really do some amazing things, like you did with Angel's Blood. You had the poker chips. I mean, a lot of people call them
Hmm.
tchotchkes or whatever, and that's fine, but it's part of the collection. That's all. I know
Hmm.
that, okay, I did this. I was part of the campaign with you, as many people were, and this is just the sideline of what we got in the collection. That's the way I have it, archived in my grouping. This is okay. This is what came in this collection. Okay, so this is where it's at, and you had like your artwork, you sent me some artwork and stuff, but it's really important that people look at it for what it is. Quick starter is just an avenue. And
Hmm.
I think you're doing us all of us a favor by experimenting with it, honestly.
Yeah. Well, it certainly seemed like something to try out and play with. And again, like I said, I wanted to try it on something that was more of a pet project or a fun project than
Yeah.
like my
Yeah.
next book that I'm very passionate about a story I have to tell.
Mhm.
I don't want that to be a flop or that to not flop, that's not the word, but
Just
I
fail.
want
You don't
that
want
to
to
be the
fail, not
biggest
fun.
launch possible.
Right. Right.
And the scope of it, I'm going to plan certainly going to have to be more than $1,000.
Right.
So that's a whole other thing. This is something that's I wanted to make some books for like something to have at my tables. Conventions are coming up, and just a little again something more for fun than for a story that I need to tell. We're still here, Ted? Oh, I'm missing you, Ted. Domino. Domino's Pizza. This is Domino. One of us is
Everybody about
froze.
what's that?
Sorry, we were frozen there for a minute. I didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that any better? Hold on. Are we back on?
Yeah, you're going
Yeah.
now.
I don't know what's going on with that internet, because of the storms and that we're getting a little, but we'll try. I don't want to play the video just in case we get cut off. So just everybody just kind of, can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
guys,
I'm
yeah,
good.
okay. You can hear me. Okay. So, hey Keisha, how you doing? Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go back to the page here
I was
and
gonna put on a fedora, Carl. I thought about that.
yeah, you
I don't want
guys,
to sleep.
you guys are slacking. You guys got to get a fedora, a couple of you. Okay. So on the pledge, can everybody hear me now? Everything's okay. All right. So the pledge is $15. You get the free book. That's the first. That was my selection, but that's what I normally do. I'll try to get I try to get a tangible book so I can have you sign it.
That's
Um,
me too. I'm one of those physical backers. I'm looking for like how can I make sure I get a copy in hand or whatever you're making.
right, and I think that that's important because I think that yeah, I think PDFs are great if you're like Glenn can't necessarily get a copy of our American comics sent to him because it costs so much, even if we
Hmm.
offer it, but he can get a PDF, and that's understandable.
Hmm.
Um, or anybody worldwide. I had people in Germany and Japan that I had that to send a book to them would be outrageous. Which I'm flattered that they wanted my work, but we just the PDF is so much easier. All right, so the pledge without a reward, $20. What's this now? The $20.
Oh, they just put
Or
that at the top.
oh,
That's
okay,
just
got it. Okay,
you
all
can
right.
fill
So
in any amount there.
all right, undying gratitude and shout out. You get a pledge for $1. Okay, that's cool. Nothing that you're
I always put
immortalized for
and
all time.
I always put
Mhm.
everybody that backs my Kickstarters. I put them on a thank you page in the book.
Good. It's classy. It's always a way to do it. $5 digital copy, very affordable. Um, that will get your name, and then also you get a digital copy of Hatched. Now, how many pages are you looking at with this series or
24.
with this 24? Okay, so it's a standard comic then, but
Yeah, it's
size
planned to
too.
be.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
could very well go up to like 36, but
Mhm.
that just depends on how many pages get added to it. I have
Got it.
some backers that are taking the reward tier where you add your own page.
That's cool. That's cool. And the original sketch cover for 35. Now that brings you you get your name on the obviously on the list, the digital copy, and then the sketch cover edition. Now what is a sketch cover? Is it what you come up with or what they want or what is it?
So that's where like you'll print the book with a blank cover, and then
Hmm.
I'll do an actual drawing on the cover, one of a kind, just for that backer. I do them at shows or conventions. Did a
Okay.
lot of them. They were my most popular thing for the Angels Blood campaign. So I thought,
Sure.
man, I'm gonna go back and do all my old books with a sketch cover because you can get it printed on like a kind of a it's not vellum, but it's like a coarse sketch paper,
Okay.
cardboardy paper for the
Hmm.
cover,
Hmm.
which is just the logo and nothing else. And then I'll just draw something on it. And you
All
can,
right.
and then I could like I draw Spider-Man or whatever, like
Or
for that
whatever.
because
Yeah.
it's original
Sure.
for just a one person and I'm not
Hmm.
like reproducing. Um, I draw whatever somebody wants.
Right. Okay. Good. And that's good to know. I mean, that's
And
a
then
affordable way to get original art for definitely.
and then it's one of a
Definitely.
kind. Plus, I've been doing this pretty regularly since the last Kickstarter. Every
Hmm.
time I do a sketch cover, I do it on a video stream like this,
Uh-huh.
uh, and
Right.
film it. So
Right.
then now whoever gets that cover has a video of it being drawn.
That's good. That's good marketing too. I mean, that's cool. I mean, it's a very
That's fun.
personalized way of doing it, man. That's great. And you're getting marketing out of it. That's great. So what's the pledge for 75? You've got go ahead.
That's where so then backers can get their idea drawn by me, so kind of a commission.
Mhm.
Come with the idea. The only restriction is like it's got to be original. It can't be Batman or Superman
Got it.
because it's going to be published in the book.
Okay.
um, got to be something within my scope, and then something that doesn't infringe on somebody else's intellectual property. And then I will, your idea comes to me, and then we'll put it in the book.
Excellent.
The
Excellent.
only other
Okay.
thing is that it's not a kid's book, but it's going to be family friendly too. I want this to be something for all ages, so not it can't have me drawing something super gory or with nudity.
Right.
But
Got it.
other than that, I'm pretty open.
So kid friendly, not kid friendly, but just, it's
I
got
know I keep
some
saying kid friendly, and I don't mean that to be like
no,
too
no, no, no.
kiddie, but I
No.
just mean that it's not for kids, but it's not something you can't let your kids see
Yeah, right. And everybody
necessarily.
understands that. Anybody that's, anybody that can, I mean, that's easy to understand. Your pledge for $100, your idea, full color published. Wow. Okay.
So it's basically the same thing, except for the 75, I can, do it black and white, fully inked.
Okay.
It's a little more, it takes more time to do it, to add colors. So that's that one.
Okay, cool. And then for 200, your comic strip published. Okay. Talk about that.
So that's a bonus. I'm throwing you like an extra page. I'm allowing 3 pages for this one, and I will work with, the whoever backer they are to design whatever they would like to put in 3 pages, and that gives you enough room to not just do like a pinup. That's plenty of room for sequential art, some ideas, some stories. And again, this is where I'm trying to draw people in to the
Mhm.
creative process, and
Right.
that's one of my favorite parts about making comics is collaborating with people.
That's why we do it. I know even though you wanna be kind of reclusive, you know what I mean? I get it. Isn't that funny how it works? You wanna be
Hmm.
re you wanna be kind of an extrovert, but you can't. So, and I know Carl's got, a lot of I'm sure he's got a lot of, technical terms of what they call that. I just call it crazy, and that's okay because 'cause I'm that way too. Grant, good morning, by the way. Alright, let's go back to so $200, okay, so you can get up to 3 pages of your comic strip in that book? Is that what you're stating, or no?
Yep.
Okay. Wow. Alright. Alright, so that's a pretty modest way to do the Kickstarter. I don't think it's a
It's
bad
very
program.
limited, and it doesn't tell you that you can't have more reward levels,
Yeah,
but they kind of advise you to keep it simple. So
got
there's
it.
like something very small. You got a digital only level. You got a couple of good physical levels, and then you've got something, because there are always, and my last 2 campaigns were proof. There are always some people who like want to back it at a higher end.
Sure.
I had in my last one, I had a guy who just threw me $200, and he had already gotten all the books I had from the first Kickstarter, so I had nothing new to give him.
Yeah,
Except I sent him some new artwork and some extras. Um, but as far as all the add-ons and stuff, he didn't need it. He told me he didn't even want them. He just wanted to
sure,
support the project
sure.
for
Well,
like
that's kind of
$200. So
that's great.
there's always, they say just always have a higher level for
Mhm.
people that want to just join in and support comics that way.
Yeah, and that's great, and that's and that's
I love it.
you're humbled, and you don't, and you're thankful, and this is why you do it because of connections.
Mm,
But
I love that.
that's
I'll tell
awesome.
you what I really though. I mean, and I love every backer, because the last Kickstarter, and in this one too. Like when I check, I check all the time. I check every day. I check 20 times a day. And when you see that pop up, like someone threw you $5 on your
Yeah,
Kickstarter,
yeah,
I am just like, awesome and thank you.
yeah.
You
It
see
gives you
someone that
that
took a minute
little.
out of their
It just
day just
gives
to
you that
support your little project.
right. It gives you that
Yeah.
little bit of, that a boy for the day. You know what I mean? I know it's minor, but it's a huge thing. Uh,
Oh, it is, and well, and I do that too. And like I see,
yeah,
because I mean, sometimes I can only back, because I want to back everybody's projects, and I
sure,
follow a ton of them on Kickstarter,
sure.
and you get notified. Kickstarter notifies you when someone that you've bagged before launches something new. So I'm
Yeah,
like, oh man, Brian Rodman just launched something new. I'm like, awesome, I got to check that out.
right,
If
right.
I had $1 million, I'd back the hell out of everybody's project. But
Sure,
sometimes I like got $5 or $10 here and there
sure,
just to keep supporting the books that I want to see supported.
sure.
And
And
that helps
that's
their metrics too. Sometimes it's not even
yeah.
just about the money, but you're getting their numbers up too.
Right. And I know none of us are, we're all trying to make it work, and then we're trying to help people out. And it's a very reciprocal thing. I support you, you support me. That's very rising tide. That's what we do. And that's, I know you're part of this, this, coalition of creatives, but you've got you've got a stance about you that's very real, very uh, how can and I don't mean it insulting at all. Joe Lunchbox, and that's obtainable, and that's something that people can see themselves in you. That's not that's a good thing because you bring a lot to the table when it's that, because a lot of people feel like they're just not worthy of it or they're not capable of their art might be fantastic, but they just don't feel. And we were talking about this this last week. Imposter syndrome is something that is prevalent with all of us. But again, like Carl states, you only have imposter syndrome when you've accomplished something and you're, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it's a win-win. So what you bring to the table, though, I always respect, because I think you have a lot to offer the community, and I think you have a
Well,
lot to
thanks,
offer
Ted.
with your art. So I appreciate you.
I'm
That's why
not
you're,
here to be anything but Ken.
and
So,
that's good. That's what I want you to be. I don't want you to be. You don't need to be. You're playing your part, bro. So, um, all right. So what's the perfect scenario? What's the next thing when it comes to after Kickstarter?
oh,
What are you
okay.
going to do?
Um, well, I mean, after this Kickstarter, so first of all, I mean, I'm kind of just loving the Kickstarter, like the concept of Kickstarter, because it's hoping it does a couple things. I mean, you get hopefully, if you fund, you
Mhm.
get some get the money to print, to publish your books without going into pocket, which
Yeah.
is great for indie creators, which previously I had been doing.
Yeah.
However many hundreds of dollars I had to publish my own books. That's where the way I was going with it when I wasn't working for a publisher. Or if I did, God bless the small press printers where you can get just 20 or 30 copies made at a time if you want to.
Right. Right.
Um, so I am planning more Kickstarters, but I'm not planning another Quickstarter for a while, because the next thing that I've got in me to do is a book that I've been working on writing. So ultimately, I'm hoping to have it ready, or if not totally finished, close to ready for a launch in early to mid to 2022. But it's not something I want. That's why I didn't want to do it next, even
Mhm.
though all the research that I got from my backers on the last two projects was saying that they'd like to see another book from me. I didn't have another book ready, and I didn't want to rush this one,
Okay.
because it is a passion project. It is something that I actually have a story to tell, and
Mhm.
something that I want to get out there, and I'm going to do it right or not do it at all. Which is why it's not done, because I've been putting it off and putting it off and kicking this idea around for like a decade,
Right.
randomly making, like, I mean, I have a folder full of notes and little ideas and sketches and things that hadn't been compiled, because I've just had this idea I've been working on and tweaking here and there, and then I put it away for a while and then I bring it back out for a while. So ideally, though, and one way or another, I'm getting to it and getting it done in 2022, and that's my next book,
Okay.
which is called Elder.
Elder. Okay. Cool. We'll be
Just
looking for
throwing it
that
out there
one.
for the world to know. So
Yep.
if you hear it again, you heard it here first. The book's called Elder.
Did you end up, Carl's asking, I hope Ted has a link for this. Did you happen to have a link that you can throw in the conversation? I've got this on here. I can probably copy and paste it here. I'm going to remove this though, and then we'll get you set up on here. Let me see what I can come up with here. Because Carl apparently can't look up Kickstarter. So let's see what we got. Hold on.
Can I
Uh,
comment on there? Because I have the link right here.
Go ahead. I think you can either put it in private chat and I'll copy it over. I think we can do that.
Okay.
But not a problem, Carl. I should
I've
have
been doing
actually.
I've been a lot of like social media blasts, so it's just constantly saved to my clipboard. That link is right there.
Yep. If I can get it there. It'll
Hey,
let
I
me.
appreciate and I appreciate everybody taking the time to even look at it.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to make sure that you get the eyes on it. That's the key. And you've got, there we are, guys. Okay. So there you are. So hopefully that works for you, and we get some people, get some eyes on this, get some dollars in the kitty. Um, I don't know if there's I don't know if I want to do a quick start with the Kickstarter. I don't know if that's going to be
I'm not
viable.
sure. It really depends, and it really was kind of a marriage of like interest and convenience, because I kind of wanted to do a sketchbook project
Yeah.
anyway. at some point in my life because I have all this material,
Sure.
and partly I just didn't want to sit around until you know January, February next year after the last Kickstarter. It was so
Right.
exciting to
Right.
have to run it and
Well, you
fund it
need to
and
keep that
fulfilling
momentum.
it.
You
I
need to
love
keep the
going to
momentum.
the post office with like my stacks of boxes and envelopes,
Right.
and they're just like, oh, what's Ken got today? Um, so I've had a really good time with it. I really enjoy it, and the part about it, and my last one was like it was double funded, and that's a big success. But I mean, it's not like you know triple digits or anything. It's just it's enough to keep doing it. And I always tell people I love making comics, and the only reason I need to make money at it is so that I can keep doing it. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not sitting around getting rich off of them. I'm just enjoying doing them, and I like to get to keep doing them.
Yeah. Um, I know that we're having some issues on the internet. I know Skunk's saying some things. I think it's just because the storms have been moving through here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna end up getting a booster on this internet on my router, I think. But we're having a couple. I'm sorry about that, Ken. I didn't mean for that to happen, but um, yeah. But I know that there's a lot going on with the quick start idea. Is there a change in the pricing? Do they take less money out because of this being a less, or it's the same?
No, it's exactly the same. It's really
Hmm,
there's almost no difference between a quick starter and a Kickstarter, except that they give you a tag that
yeah,
says that. So and like if you go to my page, there's got like tags as to like it's for comic books and illustration, and then got a hashtag for quick starter.
yeah,
So I was what, and that was another thing I really didn't know. What did they do to promote it? Because they were reported at the time, um, at least a year ago, that they had like an 80% success rate for the quick starters.
okay,
And I thought, well, if that's it all due to additional promotion that you could get through
hmm,
Kickstarter, um, I'd like to see what that's about. Not to knock it, but it doesn't seem like there is much
yeah,
unless someone is specifically looking and searching for quick starter. They're not going to find you in any special way. In fact, I wrote them to ask what their promotion was, and they wrote me back and said we really don't do any additional promotion other than that.
wow. Okay, so I
But
mean,
again,
it's
it's
something to think about.
interesting.
It's something to think about. I mean, it's an option. So if you've got a smaller campaign, then that's probably the way to go.
Like this
I
one. This
know,
one didn't. I don't need a lot for this. I just had.
yeah,
I'm just looking at enough to get some copies made.
yeah, and there might be, and there must be a market for it. People must have asked because some people don't
Mhm.
need to have 100 grand to do their, projects. It always blows my mind to see that kind of money being put into these fun. It's incredible, incredible.
Mhm. And they're out there, and you see them all the time. And but there's every level too. There
Yeah,
are success stories for $500, for $1,000, for two
yeah,
thousand dollars, for
yeah.
$10,000. I was a friend of mine um, that I know through the Kickstarter course just did $27,000 on their indie book. I'm like,
It's
that's a whole
great.
lot of stuff. Now
See
that
that
that had
that
a
I'm
web
glad they've
comic.
got I'm glad they got the success, but it's like that's fulfillment too. I can't even imagine the
The
fulfillment's got to be ungodly.
the level that you have to be ready to scale up at. And then my first Kickstarter went really well, and I was not ready for that much fulfillment,
Sure.
and that really tanked me.
Yeah.
Actually, I lost money on it because I misrep or not, I misestimated
Sure.
how much it was going to take, how much I didn't think about materials.
Sure.
I didn't even include things like packing tape and envelopes and uh, like photo mailers and stuff to mail your comics like without bending them, stuff like that. I didn't even include in the goal. So though I
Yeah.
made my goal, fulfilling it and then shipping, there's a difference in shipping media too. That and it seems to depend on who's working the desk at the post office some days, whether
Yeah.
they let you ship it media or not.
I've
Because
noticed that too.
comic books are supposed to, they sometimes they'll restrict comic books won't be allowed to be media
Yeah.
because they're considered to have advertisements in them.
Yeah.
But I convinced them that since they're my published books, I don't have ads in them
Yeah.
because I published them myself, and it's not like there's not Mountain Dew isn't in there, Pepsi isn't promoting
Yeah.
anything because there's not paid ads in there.
Yeah.
So then they let me run it, ship it for media, which is far more affordable.
Affordable. I know that in a lot of the books that I have, they aren't comic books. Especially Grimm. It's a prose book. It's more of a it's a very much a cross hybrid. It's not really graphic novel. It's not really. So I mean, what do you say? I mean, it's art as far as I'm concerned, just art. And with that, and the way I ship, but the way that I ship them with Gemini mailers, they automatically push a certain amount of weight and everything else and size and all that. So it's between X amount and X amount. I know I can kind of balance it, but still, I know what you're saying, and I'd love to put things in media packs and stuff, but I honestly, the way I ship everything now, I think yours came in all right, right? And I haven't had any damages at all. Everything came in
Yeah, absolutely
perfectly.
great.
Okay, and that's what I wanted. It's
Hmm.
an extra hit financially to do all that, buying hundreds of Gemini mailers. But for me, I wanted that, and people can reuse them. You can use
Hmm.
them on something else. You can send it back to me. When I buy your stuff, put it in the same one that I sent you. And I mean that for everybody.
Yeah.
Recycle it. No problem. No problem. And that's one of the reasons I don't write all over I tape the crap out of it, as you know. But I just want to do that for, water tightness and that, even though it's made out
Hmm.
of cardboard. Skunk's
Yeah.
got a lot to say. So I think let me hop on here for a second. We'll probably
Yeah,
we'll probably
he's got the idea that, yeah, it's for
yeah,
small ideas, small campaigns. And Kickstarter was really, I think, trying to promote that. They wanted to get more creators in that maybe were daunted by like, I don't want to
right,
run a Kickstarter because I'm not running that big a deal. Like,
right. And
throw your little
again,
book on
it's
there,
you're
man. See what
back
it
to
gets.
yeah,
Here's the
right.
thing.
And they
Even
won't
if you
pay.
don't make
Yeah.
it, you're learning
Mhm.
something. I'm
You
learning
are.
something. Even if this doesn't get funded, I'm learning a lot.
Yeah. And that's the way
And you
you've
can
got
always
to look at
relaunch.
it. And those are the baby steps I tell people, just because okay, if it doesn't fund, all right, that's one thing. Okay, now what did you learn? Okay, now what do we do on the next one? That's you've
Hmm.
got to do that. You have to be that way. The idea, hey, you don't have a whole lot of time to back, and then it gets special deals. You need to jump on the right, yeah. And I don't FOMO can do a lot of pre-order stuff, and that's good. That's good. I didn't know that. Just look on video games. If a pre-order comes with some kind of bonus, then you can only get pre-order. Hold on a second, I can't read all that. Pre-ordering the game, people will pay full price for a year. Well, really? You got a lot to say, Skunk. Hold on one second. Give me another minute. Doesn't matter if the game is any good, and if it sucks, too bad. You already gave them your $60. Well, I mean it's all, and again, that's the gamble, I guess, sometimes, right? Um, Damien, good morning, sir. How you doing? Fantastic. Everything, fantastic guy. Check out everything that Damien's doing. He's incredible. You need to check out the
Check out
figures
those
that he's
action
making.
figures.
Yes, you've got to. You've got to. Right there. All right, this is why I always ship FedEx. I don't trust the post office. Plus, FedEx shipments are guaranteed up to $100 built in. Good to know. Um, I with everything going on with the post right now, the up charges and everything else, it's going to be interesting to see what the dynamic is of how I send things out too. I think that there's I I think that we've got a long way yet, and there might be even other companies that are going to be coming stepping up now in the future. I
Hmm.
don't know, but I
And
think
there,
that
I mean,
there's
I don't follow closely all the stuff, but I mean, there are countries that now we're not able to ship to,
yeah, yeah.
at least not post office.
Right. Well, and that's,
So there's all kinds of
how do
trouble going
we,
on.
and I think that that's something too that we need to look at. And Damien, you might want to jump in on this. We really need to look at more of an interactive PDF experience. You've done a lot with this, Ken, because one of the things I really like about what you do is the book, the active book presentation with your PDFs and that kind of thing, where it looks like it's actually a book. But there's a lot of different interactive stuff that we can do to offer um, a digital experience, I think.
Hmm.
And I think that we're just at the beginning of it. I really do. I think that there's always going to be print books. I don't mean that. Um, but I think that there's going to be a really PDF experience that's going to be really, in the next, say, 5 to 10 years, it's
Yeah.
really going to be something else, whether it's 3D, whatever, you know, I think it's going to be an amazing thing to grow because I know worldwide it's going to be a hell of a lot easier just to click the button to send than it is to pack it up in a Gemini mailer and send it out. So, or print it out. There might be,
Yeah.
I've done that with my Albino Zulu book, where you can print it out for the kids at home and then they can color it. They can actually build it. I think that's a really good interactive thing for kids too, to get them into comics, to get them into publishing, get them into, coloring, whatever. Um, it's important. So there's a lot of things that I think that in the futures is going to be bright. Got to wear shades.
Hmm.
Um, Okay, so you guys are getting a little bit of an idea now with Ken and everything else, and what's the future of what's happening with your products. I would suggest you guys go over. I invested in Hash. I think it's great, and I think that he's, it's true to fact of who you are, Ken. You're just Ken, and that's what I appreciate about you, and that's awesome. You know. Um, okay, so let me before we leave, I'm going to go through a couple things here. We're going to advertise a couple things. This November 5th, Craig Hall, people don't know, is doing an adaptation of my book Retrieve that's being developed into a live action movie, and we're going to be doing. He was kind enough to want to start a podcast with me to help people get their ideas into script format to pitch to Hollywood. So what we're going to do is on November 5th, we are going to do that. Sorry. We're going to do that. Oh, man. You are awesome. Way to promote, man. Thank you. Did I sign those for you? I hope I signed those. Doesn't have his headphones in. Did I sign those?
No, and I was gonna say I need to get you to sign them because I just bought these at Cashman.
Oh, did you?
Hold on.
He put them
Number
up
one is
on, wow.
autographed.
He put them up
Oh,
on
you
the
know what? You
shelf.
signed them.
Did I? Good. I thought
They
I
are
did.
signed, but I feel like
Good.
they're not personalized. I think I
All
need
right,
to like
fair enough.
thanks Ken on here something because
right,
when
fair
you're
enough.
big and famous and I can't reach you anymore and you won't return my phone
Would
calls.
you stop? I'll have people you can call. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm teasing,
Hey,
guys.
I'll have my
I'm
people
just
call yours too.
Yeah, right. I'm just kidding. Anyway, but yeah, so Craig's doing the adaptation, but we're also going to be doing a podcast. So it's going to help people from the trenches of Hollywood. It's going to help people get their book, figure out what's going on, so that you know how to get your book interested and published and get it into script format to get it into Hollywood. It's a big thing. I think that, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to bring some industry heavy hitters in, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think it's important that people check out what we're doing because it's going to help you guys build your careers. Also, I want to talk a little bit more about Glenn B. Fleming and what he's doing with the Jack Kirby experience that he's created here. Check out everything that's on this video. Hold on one second.
When they mined an area, they put down yellow tape right across that line. See? And if you walked on the wrong side of that yellow tape, you blew up.
Strange Tales 136. I remember it very clearly, and that was my first exposure to Kirby. And I wanted to show it to people.
Yeah, real proud of Glenn and what he's bringing to the table on that one. I think that's going to be it's definitely going to be on the shelves here. I know that I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit of the home movies with Jack and all the full experience that Glenn's going to offer. And I'm glad that he's actually releasing it to the world because I think it's going to be really an awesome thing for the collector and for the people who don't know who Jack is or was.
Sorry,
yeah.
who's Jack Kirby?
Well, we got to go. So tomorrow night also, Glenn's going to be on the Truth Mongers with myself. We're going to be talking about the Foo Fighters, not the band. You guys have to check that out, and you guys will see a little bit more about what the Foo Fighters are all about. Thursday, we've got a cigar show featuring Carl Witzman, who is also on the call here. It's going to get a little spooky. We're going to be doing a Halloween event a little bit and talking a little bit more about cigars and the spookiness around some of the names that they offer and why they do it marketing wise. Yeah. So, and of course, coming up, since we're talking about Kickstarter, Grim 101 Book 2 is going to be coming out. We're launching that October 24th, Sunday at 7 p.m. live with my promo queen herself. Thank you. Lisa Malone. She'll be of Malone Management. She'll be on there, and we'll be talking like we did the last time about Grim 101. Thank you. I'm glad that you're enjoying the book. I've had a really, really good response to it. If you guys have picked up the book and you've read it, please, jot a review down, send it to me, message me. I would love to post it. We're stockpiling those right now. I'm going to get them on the website soon. And we are actually in the works right now with development for that to be into a mini series. And that's, we haven't announced that technically yet with everything, but we're going to be announcing it soon. So you heard it first here. So Grim 101 is going to be picked up for adaption here next year. We got too much going on with Retrieve right now, but got a lot going on. So hopefully you guys can be part of this journey with me, and you're learning a little bit part of this, and I hope you are too, Ken, because I'm learning a lot from you and everybody here for that matter. So
I'm paying attention, Glenn.
So what else we got? I think that's it, man. I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming in,
Hey,
man.
you too, Ted. Always
Best
good
of
to
luck
talk to you,
with-
man.
Yeah, always good. Best of luck with everything. I will I'll remove you from the call here. Everybody have a great day. I'll stick around though. I'll talk to you in a second. All right. Everybody have a great day. Try to do something good for somebody today, and get out of your own head, because I know sometimes that can be a dangerous place, at least for me. So, and we will talk to you soon. Have a great day, guys, and we'll see you. Thanks.